Hi, how's it going? Chelsea here. Oh gosh, it's been ages since I've been on here live on my own, and it's nice. I'm excited to be here. I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes and see if anyone comes on live with me today. I'm gonna be talking about burnout and not specifically the health aspects of burnout, but just overall lifestyle aspects of burnout. It's a topic that's, kind of important to me just because personally it's something that I've experienced a couple of times in my life, but also it's something that is just so incredibly prevalent. It affects so many people, young and old, and it's something that is so important that we talk about, that we have awareness around, and that we have an understanding of how, number one, to treat it, but also how to catch it and how to prevent it as much as we can. There's a huge amount of awareness that we need to build around this for ourselves and for the people in our lives because, it's something that once it happens, and I can speak to this personally, I've been through this twice. Desi's here with me, so hopefully this will go smoothly today. She's just playing over there, but she thinks I'm talking to her. She keeps answering me. So anyways, all about burnout. Like I said, this is something that's affected me personally, but also as a naturopath. I worked in a clinical setting for 10 years and I saw burnout a lot. I saw it all the time. And even more recently in the coaching work that I'm doing now and the naturopathic work that I'm doing, I think this last year, one of the most common health concerns that was brought to me by my clients is fatigue and exhaustion. So we know that this affects us, quite significantly. And also I think just this time of year, it's really important to talk about it because it's a time of year that we tend to pile on a lot more stuff than we normally do. Heading into the holiday season, there's a lot of pressure that's growing, and there's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves or that we feel from others. And I think it's really important to get really clear on what's important for us so that we are looking after ourselves in the best way possible and just having that self-awareness so that we can prevent burnout. Because when it does happen, getting to that stage of burnout where you're in exhaustion is something that can take time to heal. And it's something that, especially if you're a person like me, I have a hard time slowing down. And I know when I was going through the healing stage of my burnout a few years ago, I would get to a point where I was like, oh, I have my energy back. And I would then go and do a bunch of stuff. I had been resting for weeks leading up to this, and I felt like, I was ready to go and do all of this stuff. And I just brought myself back to square one. Hi, Desi. So anyways, it's just really important to have a really clear understanding of the role it plays, how it affects us. And I think one of the big things with this, especially if this is something that you feel like you're going through, if you're starting to feel the early stages of it, and really how it does start to show up is it affects your sleep. You can start to feel like you're wide awake in the middle of the night. It can affect your level of anxiety. You can feel like you're just always on edge, you're jumpier. Of course, if we're going through this, we know that our stress level is high. We probably have a lot on our plate. Hey, Arav, how are you? Thanks for watching. So anyways, talking about stress and talking about burnout, I wanted to come on here today and of course talk about lifestyle factors and some simple strategies that you can use to help number one, catch it, but also help to turn the tides and help to reverse this potential burnout or exhaustion that may be creeping up. So I think it's important to be said that if you are experiencing this, to also make sure that you've got someone in your corner, someone that's supporting you, with knowledge of holistic health, whether it's a naturopath or an herbalist or someone that just has the knowledge of really what it takes to help heal the body. Because when we get into a state of adrenal exhaustion and burnout, we need to really, really deeply nourish ourselves and deeply heal. And so that takes quite an extensive strategy. Hi, Desi. So, right, I'm talking about more trying to prevent it. And so I have some really simple strategies that you can implement now and things that can potentially really help you. Another reason that I'm bringing this up right now is it's something, as I said, I've had personal experience with it, and I right now am a bit busier than I would like to be. So it's something that feels kind of relevant for myself as well, because it's something that I'm working on preventing in my own life. Having been through it a couple of times, I know I don't want to go there again, but I also have built up a lot of tools and strategies and awareness for my own. So I know it's not going to happen. And, as I mentioned, we're heading into the holiday season. Leah Kozatsky, who I do my lives with on a regular basis, normally every Thursday. Hi, Ruthie, how are you? Leah and I are actually going to be doing a very specific talk about this in a couple of weeks. We have it booked for December 19th in the evening, and we're going to be talking about strategies for getting through the holiday season and for really managing your energy and getting through the holiday season in a way that you can still really feel like you're conserving your energy, you're maintaining your own sense of self and your own happiness. And I know as the holidays can be quite stressful for people, you're just getting through it in a way that works exactly the way that you need it to for you. So that's something that you can look forward to. As I mentioned, that's one of the reasons that this is on my mind right now, but also just personally, I've been through this, and I really, I want to make sure that anyone that's kind of feeling like they're in those early stages of burnout, that they're really being self-aware and they're understanding that I think, us as human beings, we just really try to pile on so much on ourselves. We think that we're invincible, and we think that we can do it all. And I think in some ways we are very powerful. Hi, Desi. We are very powerful beings. It's something that we need to really have a great understanding of what we can tolerate and what we can't, so that we can maintain our health and our strength as we get older throughout our lives. So for me personally, it's really a big matter of just making sure that I have this great self-awareness. I understand what I'm taking on. I understand what I'm doing. Daisy, do you want to bring it to me? Do you need help? She needs some help with something. Sorry, just be a minute. Come here. Here you go. There. Oh, how cute. Okay, so she's just gonna lounge in the back. So I don't know how much time I have to really get into this before she starts climbing on things too much. So I have a little side show going on here. Oh my goodness. Desi, can you come here, please? Come here, Desi. Anyways, so what I wanted to get into is the 3 strategies that you can really use to help conserve your energy and help to, especially if you notice, if you notice that this is going on in your life, the 3 things to really remember that can help. And as I mentioned, I'm noticing this in myself. I'm really working on these things in myself as well. I am so excited because I'm going to be going to Hawaii in a couple of weeks. So I know that I have that coming up, which is, just this blissful sort of finish line that I'm heading towards before the holidays really kick in. But, not all of us have that to look forward to. So I think it's important that we really implement as many of these strategies as we can. So one of the first and most important strategies when you're feeling like, things are just piled up way too high, is to be able to say no often, and say no anywhere that you really mean it. There's so many things that we tend to overcommit to, and like I said, I think we can think that we're invincible and we take on too many things. Sometimes it's hard to say no, but sometimes we have to really, be okay with disappointing people in order to maintain our own health and our own strength. Even for me yesterday, I had to cancel on a dear friend that I was supposed to meet up with because I just didn't have any extra energy left in me that day, So, and it's something that, of course, can still be done with love, and, we're doing it for ourselves, and we're really doing it to maintain our own health. So I think it's important that we have the ability to do that. And if we are struggling with taking on too much and with feeling like it's too hard to say no, that's definitely an area that, needs to be strengthened in our lives. There's, needs coaching on. So that's one of the things that if you are struggling with, I definitely recommend that you get support on that. Figure out why it is. Why is it so hard to say no? Is it guilt? What is it? What's preventing you from really standing up, standing in your own power, and creating those strong boundaries for yourself? So that's the first one. The second one is routine. Especially if you're finding that your sleep is starting to get affected. It's really setting up a really solid routine for yourself. This is healing for your hormones. There's so many things about it that's healing. In your routine, you can have fun with it. You can do whatever, fits into your schedule, whatever really makes you excited and happy. But I think one of the most important things, I know that we're adults here and we tend to stay up really, really late. Part of it is, one of the most important things is giving yourself a bedtime and sticking to it. Giving yourself a really clear sleep and wake routine. Sometimes that can be hard when, you're not sleeping well. But the more that you really also get into a nice, soothing, relaxing evening routine, incorporate anything that feels really good to you, whether it's relaxing music, whether it's essential oils, if you have a partner, massage each other's feet, whatever you can to really just get so relaxed. And, one of my favorite ones that I really love is chamomile tea. It instantly makes me sleepy. And, it's something that's really soothing as well. Whatever it is that you need to do to help, get yourself really calm and get yourself ready to go to sleep and really not staying up too late. I feel like a mom telling you this, but, it's important to have a good bedtime. And of course, same thing with your getting up in the morning. Just really trying to establish a clear wake up and sleep time is so important for balancing your hormones. I think that's, of course, I mentioned having a nice morning routine when you wake up in the morning, something that's really energizing. What I do lately is dry skin brushing. I find that it's really something that wakes me up in the morning and it's invigorating. And of course, there's health benefits to dry skin brushing as well. If anything that I'm talking about, you want to find out more, or if you feel like you need support in any of these areas, just send me a message and we can chat more about it. Or you can comment below as well. Number 3, the third strategy for really helping to turn the tides, if you're feeling like burnout is something that's creeping up on you, is really developing a strong energy awareness. So what does that mean? It's becoming really, really aware of what depletes your energy, of what drains you, of, is it potentially different types of interactions with people in your life? Hi, Desi. I might have to be getting off soon. Hi, whoever's watching. Thank you for being here. If you are interested in this topic, I definitely recommend that you go back and catch the replay. I'm talking about how to maintain your energy and prevent burnout. And I think that, well, let's see. If Desi sits with me, I might be able to talk a little bit more about energy awareness before I need to hop off. But what does energy awareness mean? As I said, it's all about getting really, really clear on what drains you, on who potentially drains you, getting really clear on what commitments that you're involved in that just are really, really weighing you down, and using that information to just learn more about yourself at first. This is what energy awareness is all about. And then on the flip side, what kinds of things really, really get you energized and excited? And so for me, for example, even though it's a physical activity and you'd think, oh, it would make me tired, one of the things that really is energizing for me is dance. And so having that in my life is something that really helps keep me balanced, even when I'm going through, potentially more high-level stress during times of my life. So dance is something that I really, really work on maintaining. So again, with energy awareness, it's just getting really, really clear, and as much as you can, weeding out the things that drain you and building up the things that really charge you up and really feel like give you more life. I think that this is a topic that we're going to be chatting about this week on our Girl Talk with Leah Kasatsky. I believe we're talking this Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about giving yourself permission to do the things that make you feel most alive. So of course, these are things that are energizing. These are things that help really build you up, and you know, you just want to make sure if you are feeling like you're getting to that point of exhaustion, that you're really looking at that energy balance. You're being really, really fully aware and honest with yourself. You're resting when you need to rest. You are setting boundaries where the boundaries need to be set, and you are just taking the most precious, precious care of yourself. So of course, as I mentioned, as we get into the holiday season, this becomes especially important. So just really having that awareness. Sometimes with the holidays, you know, there's things that we do every year because it's tradition. But sometimes it's really important to look at those traditions and really reevaluate. Sometimes it's better to simplify. Sometimes it's better to shift things, or to have that conversation with the people in your life, people in your family, and talk about, you know, how can we do things differently this year so that we are feeling well rested, so that we get to the new year and we're just feeling revitalized and ready to go. So as I mentioned, Leah and I are going to be talking about that more on December 19th. Just keep an eye out for more information on that. If you're really interested and you want us to tag you, you can put your name below or comment below or message me and let me know if that's something that you are interested in. And I think that I'm going to sign off now, even though things are a little bit quiet with Desi. I just want to make sure that I don't overdo it. I am so happy to be back doing these lives. It's something that I am, again, as I mentioned, about things that energize me. It's something that energizes me to be able to come on here and share information. I absolutely love it. I love that, you know, you're commenting and hitting the hearts and the thumbs up if you're enjoying this information that I'm sharing. And I really look forward to coming on here more. As I said, it energizes me, and it's something that I want to be doing more often throughout the holidays and into the new year. Desi, can you say bye? Can you say bye?
Bye.
Say bye. Okay, thanks for whoever just hopped on. If you get the chance to rewatch this, I shared lots of good information about preventing burnout, and it's time for us to go. Bye.